NHL. The referee is Dave Newell. The linesman tonight, Ray Scampanello and Ron Finn. And in goal for the Soviet Union, Yevgeny Beloshekin.
Ken, he is clearly their #1 goalie. He may have lost on Wednesday night. He wasn't the victor. However, they are going with him again. He has at times been inconsistent. He played well except for a couple of breakdowns, but that was a couple too many against the NHL team. At the other end, Coach Jean Perron, Bob Johnson, and Michel Bergeron aren't going to change a thing, going with Grant Fuhr.
Soviets are in red, the NHL All-Stars in white. Rick Green has the puck. He's on defense with Rod Langway. Up front, Dale Howard-Chuck with Dave Poulin and Kevin Dineen. As the NHL shoots the puck in, Vyacheslav Fedosov in the corner. He's teamed with Alexei Kasatonov. He's number 7, the other defenseman. Kasatonov with the puck up front. Larionov, Krutov, and Markov. Green for the NHL. Half a minute gone. First period. Second game of this 2-game Rendezvous 87 set in Quebec City. Poulin driving the puck into the corner, and Vladimir Krutov back for it. He overskates. Howard-Chuck sends it behind the net, and this is Kasatonov, the playmaker, and a dandy pass up to Igor Larionov. Number 11, Larionov, the 26-year-old centerman, spotting Krutov. Makarov is the other forward. He is number 24, and the Soviets change players. The NHL clears the zone. It'll be icing. Vyacheslav Fedosov touches the puck. Icing against the NHL. Faceoff comes back near Grant Fuhr. Bill Clement, the question. What does Viktor Tikhonov, the Soviets, do here? What does the NHL do? What do we look for in the first few minutes of the game?
Ken, I think the Soviets on Wednesday night were waiting for the NHL All-Stars to come out and be far more aggressive than they were. They expected the worst, and you know what? It didn't happen. I think with that in mind, they are going to come out and be more aggressive than they were on Wednesday night.
John Perron and his staff, Michel Bergeron of the Quebec Nordiques and Bob Johnson of the Calgary Flames, certainly impressed everyone with the plan they used for game #1, and little reason to expect any changes.
I think the amazing thing, Ken, is that they pulled this whole thing together in about 48 hours. Players were arriving from all over North America to participate for the NHL team, and to have such a cohesive game plan was really outstanding. And the hitting gets going early. Perhaps the NHL is going to give the Soviets all they can handle physically in the early going. This is Dave Poulin running at young Tatarinov, the strong defenseman, who is really the Soviets' most aggressive player. And I noticed on Wednesday night that when the NHL team did play very aggressively, they went out of their way to really take it to Tatarinov to show the strong man, the aggressive player of the Soviet Union, that if they had to do business, they could do business.
They're set for the face-off near Grant Fuhr. The NHL, obviously without Paul Coffey, Markow, Mike Bossy. They didn't make the trip here out with injuries. Tim Kerr has gone home, and Tomas Sandstrom, who had a rib injury, played in game 1, is out with an ankle injury. The NHL, Gretzky leaving the puck, and the play broken up. A chance for Tatarinov, the defenseman, for the Soviets. Stamak can't play it, and Svetlov overskates. And the puck comes to Yari Curry. Out to Chris Chelios, right onto the stick of Mark Messier, and the shot deflected wide. Vasily Pervukin, number 5 for the Soviet Union, has his pass broken up. Yari Curry playing it off the boards for Esa Tikkanen. This is the Gretzky-Edmonton line. You'll recall they scored very early in game 1 on Wednesday night. Tikkanen keeping the puck in. Gretzky unable to center initially, and then Curry was just a stride ahead of the timing on that play. For the Soviets, Sergei Svetlov taken out by Chelios. Then Kaminsky sends the puck behind the net, and here's Boston's Ray Bourque. Head manning to Glenn Anderson. Gretzky can't take the pass. It's cleared out by Starikov. The NHL flipping the puck in, and that's Tikkanen. Just sort of batting it in as though this were handball. The Soviets come out of their own end, and they do so crisply. Valery Kaminsky, the youngster, number 13, over to Bykov, and a good save by Fuhr on Vyacheslav Bykov. Now, the Soviets trying to get that puck control, and Norman Rochefort, the Quebec Nordique defenseman, intercepts. There'll be no icing. They say the Soviets could have played the puck in the neutral zone. Starikov playing the puck around the boards, kept in by Ulf Samuelsson, the defenseman from the Hartford Whalers. Muller centers, can't reach Messier. Messier back to Ulf Samuelsson. He takes out beyond rushing Yuri Hamalov. Roachport. And Messier just turns the puck back into the Soviet zone. Billy lets it off. Gets it up to center ice.
Yes, he did, yes.
Priaka, number 22, getting it ahead. Nemchinov taken out, and the NHL comes back with Mario Lemieux, looking to have a better game than he did in game 1. He is checked. There'll be a penalty. There's a penalty coming up against the Soviet Union, and it'll be against Sergei Nemchinov.
Number 10, Lavrov of the Soviet Union, who was well rested. He did not suit up on Wednesday night, followed by a big save by Grant Fuhr, who has to actually turn baseball player here. Ken, he gets it up high. Tough place to save the puck when it's in that crotch of your arm. You get jammed in there, but he was able to bounce it in front of him, slam it into the corner. There's one of the big Soviet scoring guns, Vladimir Krutov. He has led the Soviet Elite League in 5 of the last 6 seasons. Here's the penalty on Mario Lemieux. He was getting ready to dance, wasn't he, Ken? It looks like Mario Lemieux is far more ready to play and participate as a strong competitor than he was on Wednesday.
NHL shorthanded, and Mark Messier scores. Gretzky initiates the play. Messier scores. Actually, the Soviet shorthanded, and the NHL converts on the power play. 1-0, NHL All-Stars.
Kind of an unknown commodity, Ken. After Wednesday night, the NHL team had 1 power play. Starting tonight, an early power play. That's an uncharacteristic breakdown. Number 2, Fedosov, Krutov were both beside the net. The Soviets don't usually get that disorganized, but notice who started the magic going. It was Wayne Gretzky. In behind, one of the Soviets falls. That's a break for Gretzky. But Fedosov moves over. Very surprised at number 9, Krutov, also moving to that same side. Look, they're all going to that one side. We thought 3 Reds because Gretzky, they assumed, was going to come out that way. They don't know how Wayne Gretzky can wheel and deal in behind a goal.
Mark Messier on the power play goal. It takes but 10 seconds after the tripping penalty to the Soviet Sergei Nemchinov. And you have to believe the Soviets have to be a bit concerned, falling behind tonight, just as they did Wednesday night in Game 1. Curry and Gretzky assisting at 3:32. Messier gets the goal. And the NHL with a puck. Rick Green teamed on defense with Rod Langway. Up front, it's Howard-Chuck with Dineen and Poulin as Green flips the puck in. The NHL didn't dump it in or shoot it in that much in the first period on Wednesday night in Game 1. They started to do it more as the game went on. On with Larionov and Makarov. Makarov with the puck. He can be a dazzling playmaker, stick handler. Fedosov. Larionov. He shoots, and the save by Fuhr, and off his stick the puck sails into the crowd. This is Rendezvous 87, coming to you on ESPN from Quebec.
20 of this NHL All-Star team. Dave Poulin of the Philadelphia Flyers. So great is his aggressive play and his willingness to follow through on the checks. You can see that number 7, Kasatonov, though, got the stick up on him. The Soviets, it looks like, are anticipating some physical play tonight from the NHL All-Stars.
And the NHL with their French-Canadian line on as Samac's shot is turned away. Michel Goulet with a puck on the left wing. Mario Lemieux in the middle. And on the right wing, Claude Lemieux from the Montreal Canadiens. Chris Chelios, the American-born defenseman, over to Ray Bourque, and Goulet will barrel into the corner. He's met there by Perbukin. Perbukin for the USSR. Svetlov. He stopped at center ice. Goulet trying to turn the puck in. Can't avoid Tatarinov. Bourque. Chelios. It's 1-0. The NHL All-Stars leading here as this first period approaches the 5-minute mark. Perbukin. He's taken out heavily. Lavrov. Samac stopped by Samuelson. And Dineen takes a hit, gives the puck to Claude Lemieux. Samuelson leading the attack for the NHL All-Stars. He's stopped. NHL All-Stars changing players. Roachport back, clears the zone. Onto the stick of Kevin Dineen. Quickly to Anderson. And ahead to Kirk Muller, the youngster from the New Jersey Devils. He's ridden out heavily by Igor Stelmach. The Soviets break out of their own end in a hurry. Here's Kaminsky trying to get around Samuelson. Valery Kaminsky puts on the brakes, and Samuelson does a good job covering the puck, holding it for a face-off.
Go ahead, Ken. Sorry, I was just going to talk about Samuelson's great defensive play getting back. To me, it looked as if Kamensky had dragged the puck by him. Samuelson lost it in his feet. By the time Kamensky was ready to get back and cut into the net, Samuelson was already back. He showed great speed. Here it is. Turning around, Samuelson, it looked as if was beaten. But boy, he tracked down number 13, Kamensky, really well. More physical play in the Soviet end. That's big Claude Lemieux of the Montreal Canadiens. We said in our open that in Game 1 on Wednesday, the Soviets expected the NHL team to come and be aggressive, and they weren't. The NHL team is far more aggressive tonight. Perhaps the coaching staff said, all right, they think we're going to come out and play a finesse game. Let's get out there and hit them all over the ice and throw them off balance.
Gusarov shot stopped. Bryakin, number 22, gets the puck in front and trying to get the shot Hamel off, and it's blocked. This is Gretzky with Curry and Tikkanen. And the puck held by Beloshakin. 14:09 to go in the opening period. The NHL leads 1-0.
Young Yevgeny Beloshakin crouched between the post. You know, Ken, he's had a little problem with his coaching staff in the Soviet Union. At one point last season, he was suspended for 3 games for consumption of alcohol. And that seems to be a problem that's not only in the Soviet Union in general, but in their sports team. One of their young players in the national team that played for the Red Army was suspended for life from both the national team and the Red Army team for violations of their drinking rules on the team.
I guess some things truly are international.
Yeah, there's very little difference, I guess.
Coming up to the 6-minute mark, first period, Howard Chuck being bothered by Larionov. Howard Chuck, a nice move. He plays center for the Winnipeg Jets. A shot. Deneen rebound, and the puck deflects high. There's an example of Beloshakin not handling the puck very well again. That's one of the keys, possibly, for the NHL, as Bill pointed out at the start of the telecast. Larionov. Now Krutov with a puck in his skates against Hyam. Langway for the NHL. Quick pass, and Poulin gets it out of his own end, and the Soviets take over. Larionov plays it back to the defense. Kasatonov. Larionov, Fetisov, back to Larionov. The NHL doing some good forechecking. This is a real checking line here of Deneen, Poulin, and Howard Chuck. 1-0, the NHL leads in the first period. Sergei Makarov, and it's offside, Soviet Union. They were offside only once in the entire first game.
Boy, that tells you about the discipline. There's Kasatonov, the second best defenseman in Soviet hockey, and he kind of plays in the shadow of number 2, big Vyacheslav Fetisov. When Fetisov is not in uniform for injury or any other reason, Kasatonov seems to shine a lot more. But that statistic on the offsides, Ken, is an indication of what the National Hockey League All-Stars are up against from a discipline standpoint, and they never change the way they play. The Soviets always like a machine.
Bill, on Wednesday night, I was amazed at the slow start the Soviets had. They played their best hockey late in the game, and I'm actually stunned tonight that they haven't come out of the gate much stronger here in game number 2.
I am too. They've been a dejected group for the last couple of days. Their only exercise yesterday after a little skate, a walk around their hotel.
Here's Samak, number 18, unable to center, too well covered by Mario Lemieux. Claude Lemieux gets the puck ahead. It's Mario Lemieux. Over the line with Goulet. Samak on the back of Mario Lemieux and does a good job taking him out. The Soviet Union on the attack. Svetlov. He's on the line with Lavrov. Oh, a big hit on Tatarinov, who gets the puck back. Doug Wilson drilled him, and in front, an opportunity for Lavrov, unable to deflect the puck on goal. Stelnov, the defenseman, up in the corner. Good job controlling the puck. Svetlov and Goulet, 2 number 16s, and Doug Wilson steps into Svetlov. Doug Wilson, the Chicago Blackhawk defenseman, to Mario Lemieux. Igor Stelnov, the 24-year-old Soviet, feeds too far for Bykov. Roachport gets the puck from Bork, and the NHL stopped at center ice. Nifty moving here by Bykov. He shoots. Pure the save, and oh, what a job by Pure holding on to the rebound. This is the best of international hockey. Here in Quebec City.
Take a look at Mario Lemieux being hounded by number 18 of the Soviet Union, young Alexander Samak. We talk about the Soviets controlling Mario Lemieux and Wayne Gretzky. No question in my mind, Ken, Mario Lemieux has the legs tonight that he didn't have. And we talk about giving away the blue line. Notice the NHL defensemen, how far back in they are. That lets Bikov come rolling across the blue line, and everything sags in around Grant Fuhr. That is that precious barrier that the NHL All-Stars want to defend, is the blue line. That time they gave it away. You see what happens when they give the blue line away.
Bikov had one of the 3 Soviet goals on Wednesday night. Defenseman Alexei Kasatonov had the other. And Anatoly Semenov, number 30, you may recall, who crashed into the goalpost after the goal, got the 3rd Soviet goal Wednesday night. He is on the shelf, not dressed tonight, nor is Mikhail Varnikov. But Vyacheslav Lavrov, number 10, and Sergei Nemchinov, number 21, are in their place. Messier, the goal scorer, leaves the puck. And the Soviet Union taking good care of things in their own end. At center ice, Curry gets it back in, and Belilektinov, number 14, leaves it in the corner. Now Yari Curry intercepts for the NHL All-Stars. There's Gretzky trying to get it in front to Tegan, and look at Gretzky move. The mastery of Wayne Gretzky, the shot. It's knocked down in front. Gretzky centers after the puck for Vukin. He's beaten to it by Rochefort. Now Belilektinov, the veteran defenseman, is stopped. Here's Yari Curry. He's taken out by Fryakin. And the Soviets on the attack out of their own zone. They trail 1-0. Gusarov, the defenseman, drills one just wide. Here's Hamalov, number 29. He'll fake a shot, and intercepting is Yari Curry. His action moves the other way. Curry with Tikkanen, and the NHL wants to change players. The NHL All-Stars leading the Soviet national team 1-0. This is the first period with 10:35 to go here at the Coliseum in Quebec City. Larionov has Makarov in front, and Makarov is stopped. Rebound, and unable to get a shot away is Kasatonov. Now Larionov gives the puck to Kasatonov at the right point. Fetisov is at the left point. Anderson is all over him, and intercepting is Green. Head manning to Anderson. Now Anderson with Mueller. And the shot blocked. Then Anderson taken out, and things a bit more chippy tonight than they were in game 1, and referee Dave Newell has stopped play. There's 10:10 to go in the opening period. The NHL All-Stars lead the Soviets 1-0.
Super slow-mo camera watching Igor Larionov, who the people that follow the Soviet Union hockey, Dave King, the coach of the Canadian national team, says sees the ice as well as anybody in the world just about, knows where his players are. And when you get running around in your own end against the Soviet Union, it's when you have the toughest time. Watch Gretzky try and go up over the shoulder of Beloshakin. It hit a stick, I believe, and went down. Did it not hit Gusarov's stick? But Wayne Gretzky had a plan when he came around. He likes to come around, and he has one of the best high backhand shots when he's sweeping around of anybody in the NHL. He was going high, but deflected in front.
Coincidental penalties at 9:50 to Vladimir Krutov and Glenn Anderson, each 2 minutes for high sticking, and there is an offside for the Soviet Union. Well, Bill Clement, it is very easy to get involved in this 2-game series, and all the years you played in the NHL, I think under that tuxedo, you could well have that NHL crest. It would be easy for you to almost feel as though you're wearing the uniform.
Ken, when we watched the tape of our game yesterday, I couldn't imagine how often I said the words us and we, referring to the NHL All-Star team, and I'm sitting up here feeling impartial. I must apologize to anyone who is offended by it, but I guess those roots, those subconscious roots of all the years in the NHL run a little deeper than I thought.
Well, from time to time, it's easy to be impartial. I am partial to Budweiser. They keep the action going so you can enjoy the game. That clean, cool, crisp taste of Budweiser. For all you do, my friend, this Bud's for you. 1-0, NHL All-Stars in the lead. 10-minute mark is just past. Opening period, game 2 of Rendezvous 87, a unique 2-game series, and there's no reason to think it'll be held again soon. It's a one-time only affair, part of the Winter Carnival here in Quebec City, and it has been a tremendous week. Beloshakin leaving the puck for Tatarinov. Ooh, and a big check by Messier. Slowing up Svetlov. After the puck in the corner, Pervukin. Ooh, and he's hit. Lavrov can't get the puck out. Green whacks it in the corner to Dineen. He's bumped by Pervukin. Behind the net, Kirk Muller. Muller in front, and unable to get his stick on the puck, Mark Messier. Back comes the Soviet Union. Lavrov didn't play in game 1. He takes a shot, blocked by Langway. Up to Muller, too far, kept in by Staranov. Now Rod Langway again. Born in Taiwan, but grew up in Randolph, Massachusetts. Did Rod Langway near Boston.
One of only 34 players in the NHL from Taiwan.
The Soviets trailing 1-0. Gaminsky Youngest Soviet player, number 13, can't center around Green. Oh, you can't say enough about Rick Green and Rod Langway. Mario Lemieux throws his weight around. Doug Wilson plays the puck off the glass. It goes into the crowd, and that stops action with 8:45 to go in the first period. There's a close look at Valery Kaminsky, only 20 years of age.
Ken, he's one of the new breed of Soviets. He will drop his gloves if the situation arises. Also, Samak of the Soviet Union, Tatarinov will drop his gloves. These are the new breed of players, and if the Soviets learned anything from the NHL, Ken, I think it all started in 1976 when the Philadelphia Flyers physically beat the Red Army team, and the Soviets said this intimidation stuff does work, and the new breed is coming along.
Big check by Samuelson. Battle along the boards. Bekoff knocked down. Kaminsky taken out by Samuelson. Mario Lemieux trying to get the puck ahead, but play is stopped. Now there'll be a penalty after the whistle as Claude Lemieux barreled into Igor Stelnov after the whistle. I believe there was a whistle for a hand pass, and Dave Newell now will call a high sticking penalty.
Ken, that's the kind of discipline breakdown that can hurt a team like the NHL All-Stars as well. Boy, he took an awful run. He is like a raging bull. He was like that on Wednesday night, all 220 pounds of him. A lot of raised eyebrows when he was selected to this team. Boy, he just crushes Stelnov. When he was selected to the team, his coach in Montreal, Jean Perron, who coaches here, said he is one of the best defensive players in the National Hockey League today, and we need him for his physical play.
The NHL now will play a man short. Claude Lemieux at 11:33 getting the high sticking penalty. The only goal came when the NHL All-Stars had the power play at 3:32. Messier from Curry and Gretzky. And Bill, you go back to one of the key points you made. The Soviet power play here in Game 1 Wednesday night. The Soviets showed some real good movement of the puck, but they were 0 for 4 with a man advantage.
Yes, they have to execute. And when we do NHL games, we talk about power plays. And even when penalty-killing units are going very well, sooner or later, the law of averages says that something is going to break down and you're going to have a goal scored against you.
There's an interesting sight. Yevgeny Beloshakin taking a rest. That's the way the Soviets do it. I know my son, who's 8, does it in soccer when the action's at the other end, but you would never see that in professional sports in North America.
Well, it's not a real macho thing to do, sit down on the job, is it? But let's face it, it makes sense. Does it not to you? I mean, it's far less taxing on your legs when you're on your knees, provided your pads don't stick to the ice when you decide to get up.
There are the shots on goal. The Soviets with the margin, but the NHL with the lead 1-0. NHL playing shorthanded. Gretzky gets the puck out. Stelnov backboard. Kaminsky. He's seen a lot of ice time in this 2-game series. Valery Kaminsky. Can't get around Langway. Green taken out by Bekoff. Green recovers nicely to clear the puck, but it hits an NHL player who had his arm out over the edge of the board, so play is stopped, and there'll be a face-off. 8:01 to go in the first period.
What a tower of power number 5 has been Rick Green for the NHL All-Star team. Interesting article in the Montreal Gazette about how his general manager, Serge Savard, met with a lot of resistance in selecting number 5, Rick Green. Here's Bekoff and Green fighting along the boards. Look at little Bekoff peck away at Green. Pull on him, pull on him. Small. Do you see a difference in size, Ken? We talked the other night about how the Soviets in general are far smaller than the NHL forwards, to the point of being 155 and 60 pounds, but they combine strength and balance and put those two together, and it equals power on the ice. Balance is the key.
NHL on the defense, playing the man short. Gretzky, Curry. On the defense, Bork, and that man Samuelson, who blocks the shot. Jari Kurri clears the puck out.
Interesting, Ken, that the Soviets now seem to have adopted an NHL style of power play. For years, the Soviets would never just shoot the puck at the net and hope to jam in front. Now, it seems, they want to blast from the point, have somebody jamming in front, while NHL teams are actually getting away from that. We have taken from them. They have taken from us on the power play.
Larionov to Krutov. This is the big line of Makarov, Larionov, and Krutov. Fedosov and Kasatonov, the defenseman on the points. Kasatonov to Fedosov, and the shot deflected wide. Makarov, Fedosov, the pass, and Samuelson smells that one. Krutov nicely. Fedosov, screen shot wide. Half a minute to go in the NHL penalty, and Poulin clears the puck the length of the ice. There's less than 7 minutes remaining. First period of play. NHL leading the Soviets 1-0. Late in the Soviet Union power play. Lavrov pulled off stride by Messier. Semak trying to battle Green. That's a mismatch. And Lavrov helps out as Semak loses his helmet. Back to Lavrov. Makarov is still in front of the net. Now the NHL back at full strength as Claude Lemieux returns to the ice. Rod Langway gets the puck. Turns it up for Claude Lemieux. It goes by him. Also Kasatonov. And here's Vyacheslav Fedosov, the 28-year-old Soviet defenseman. And just getting it out is Fedosov. Rochefort, who did not play in game 1, gets the puck ahead, and Goulet shoots it in. Both teams at full strength. Normand Rochefort plays with the Quebec Northeast. And he is drilled from behind by Sergei Svetlov. And some bumping right in front of the penalty box. There's a break in the action. Game 2 of Rendezvous 87. And the NHL All-Stars leading the Soviet national team 1-0. Quebec City, oh, what a beautiful city. A cost of $14 million to put on Rendezvous 87, and there hasn't been a flaw. You can't say enough about the week that has turned out to just be fabulous, highlighted by 2 tremendous hockey games.
I think, Ken, the greatest compliment you could pay to Marcel Aubu is that it's obvious when you come and attend all of the festivities that $14 million was spent. Very often you say, where the heck did $14 million go? It's obvious here at Rendezvous 87 where it went.
On Monday night, when I had beaver crystal soup, that gave me a hint where some of the cash went.
Beaver population in Canada suffered because of it. However, the soup was good.
Rochefort battling the veteran defenseman Belly Letonov. Belly Letonov, number 14, 31 years of age, the oldest Soviet player, and Zinatula able to freeze the puck, and there's a face-off, and that's something we saw very little of on Wednesday night in game number 1.
How do you like that handle, Ken? Zinatul Belyaletinov. Gosh, I wonder if he has a nickname. He's got to. There's the Soviet coach, Viktor Tikhonov, and he is the son of a Russian soldier who was killed in 1942 resisting a Nazi offensive near Stalingrad. Every time I think of that story, for some reason it sends chills up and down my back. Conjures up all kinds of vivid pictures.
And here we are, 1987, Rendezvous 87 in Quebec City, as the best professionals of North America and Scandinavia on the NHL All-Star team play the best professional players from the Soviet Union. And of course, this is the same team that plays in the Olympics every 4 years as a so-called amateur team. NHL shooting the puck in, possible icing, but Beloshakin touches it. Priaka, number 22, charging to center ice. You don't see that many end-to-end rushes like this. More of a passing game for the Soviets, and Bork puts an end to it in a hurry. Doug Wilson playing the puck around the boards, kept in. Amalov gets it in front, and Doug Wilson spins around Nemchinov. Bork on the charge for the NHL. Long shot, and that goes off the blocker of Beloshakin. Belly Letonov around the boards. And at center ice, an opportunity for Hamalov. He's a 22-year-old winger, and he loses the puck to Chris Chelios. Bykov intercepts for the Soviets. Now the Soviet national team dangerous and having trouble. Homutov in the NHL clears the zone. Chelios will circle. There's 4:22 to go in the first period, and the NHL All-Stars lead 1-0 on a power play goal by Mark Messier. Gretzky, Tikkanen, Curry. Gretzky goes for the far corner. Soviets intercept. Bykov does a fine job there. Homutov to Bykov. Look at Yari Curry back check. At center ice, Igor Stelnov. He gets the puck right back from Staranov. They're teamed on defense. Up front, Kaminsky with Bykov and Homutov for the red-clad Soviets. Pass too far for Kaminsky. Langway. Gretzky. Oh, he took that pass. It looked like an impossible play that he makes easy. Tikkanen, a one-hopper, gloved by Beloshakin. There's an example of the NHL just trying to play the puck to Beloshakin much more tonight than they would have the other night. Kaminsky, Bikoff, and Gretzky. Gretzky's been much more dominant in the first period. Bork pokes the puck ahead, but the NHL and Soviets are both changing players on the go. 3:15 remaining first period, and this crowd, an international crowd in Quebec City, enjoying this fast-paced second game of Rendezvous 87. Krutov a shot off the side of the net. Svetlov taken out by two NHLers, Wilson and Bork. The NHL on the move. Dale Howardchuk. Ahead to Dineen, but offside is Dave Poulin, and then Dineen barrels into Fetisov, and Fetisov might have gotten cut. He went right to his face. Then Krutov tries to shove his way in as Krutov took a bit of a swipe at Chelios.
Boy, Dineen just kept rolling there on number 2, Vyacheslav Fetisov. He's certainly surrounded by red, but that doesn't scare a little guy like Kevin Dineen of the Hartford Whalers. He is made of the right stuff. Boy, he took an awful shot at Fetisov. I think Fetisov surprised him, Ken, and when he saw him coming, it was, uh-oh, I better do something. And up with the arms.
This game has been a little bit different than game number 1. The similarity, the Soviet Union not doing much in the first period. The difference, we've seen many more body checks, and that could be the fact that NHL referee Dave Newell is here and not the Soviet official, who, by the way, was superb in game number 1.
He was, but nevertheless, as we pointed out before the game, he was a potential concern because of the last time he refereed an NHL game where he called 24 of 28 minutes in penalties against the NHL. You could be very right about that this game plan is different because Dave Newell is officiating tonight. But the Soviets, Ken, so far in this game, to me, do not look like the Soviets. I have seen them carry the puck as individuals far more than they usually do. They pride themselves on the team concept. Yet tonight, first it's Kaminsky, and then it's Krutov. They carry it one by one, and they're just running finally into a dead-end street.
Fetisov of the Soviet Union gets a 2-minute roughing penalty here at 17:04. The NHL, early in the first period, took only 10 seconds to score on their first power play. I'm a little bit surprised at that penalty call.
That's 2 minutes for receiving. It happens at times.
Anderson, and it goes wide. Bork keeps the puck in. Howardchuk with Goulet. Goulet tries to get the puck, is unable to. Anderson is the other forward. Bork and Doug Wilson are on the points on the NHL All-Stars power play. Michel Goulet, big goal scorer for Quebec, to Howardchuk. From Winnipeg, he's dumped. Howardchuk. Kasatonov all over him, and Krutov clears the puck down the ice.
And the NHL All-Stars have to be very careful against the Soviet penalty killers. Have to remember, the Soviet Union is the country that perfected and popularized attack even when you're a man down. That's why Wayne Gretzky and players of this caliber, mostly offensive, are now killing penalties in the NHL. Originally, it was the Soviets that decided you can attack even when you're shorthanded, and they do.
48 seconds to go in the NHL power play. That was Gretzky to Curry, now to Messier. 3 Edmonton Oilers up front. Gretzky, Messier, Bork, Gretzky, and intercepting the Soviet Union. And Vladimir Krutov clears the puck the length of the ice. Only 1:20 to go now in this first period with the NHL All-Stars on top of the Soviet national team, 1-0. Mike Ramsey of the Buffalo Sabres, one of the 3 Americans, and he has not played much in this first period. Tatarinov. Samak. 5 seconds left in the power play for the NHL as Svetlov loses the puck to Mario Lemieux. Ahead to Wayne Gretzky. Claude Lemieux breaks for the net. Gretzky, a shot pass stopped by Beloshakin, and I do believe that was a shot pass. Rod Langway. And play is stopped. Both teams now are at full strength with only 46 seconds to go in this opening period.
Look at his stick and Montreal, and it's a fluorescent stick that he's using tonight. He really comes out of the net and then backs in as he reads the play, but he has to rely on his defenseman, similar to any other hockey team. When you're out that far, you have to know that you're being covered to the side. Most of the time he is. Here's Gretzky coming. He just seems to lay this in, hoping, I think, he may have even been shooting for a deflection off of the Soviet skate. You can never be sure with Wayne Gretzky. He knows what's happening at all times, and he's always in control. That looked like a soft shot. He might have been trying to deflect it in off a skate.
On the replay, you saw Mario Lemieux, but to the left of that was Claude Lemieux. But Claude was very well covered, so consequently it was tough to try to make a good pass. Here come the Soviets. Both teams are at full strength. Omyatov, Bikov, backhand shot, Pure the save. Shots are just about even in this first period. Mario Lemieux, he's got Poulin flying. Starring off back. After the puck is Denis. He avoids the check nicely. Kevin Denis leaves it for Mario Lemieux. His pass rejected. Mario Lemieux still with the puck. Behind the net to Kevin Denis. Look at Poulin in front, knocked down. There's some tough play. Sergei Starakov taking care of the NHL All-Star in front of the goal. Gusarov, check. Kaminski trying to get to the puck, checked by Denis, as the first period comes to an end with the whistle of referee Dave Newell wailing away. The only goal in the first period, that power play goal, scored early by the NHL at 3:32 from Edmonton. Mark Messier getting the goal. Jari Kurri and Wayne Gretzky draw the assist. So similar in terms of tempo, the way the NHL is taking it away early tonight from the Soviet Union. It's the end of the first period, game 2, Rendezvous 87. We're having fun, and we hope you are. In Quebec City, the NHL leads it 1-0.